Man, it has not even been 24 hours and Charlie posted a new video. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to go too much in details. I would suggest you guys watch the whole video so you guys get the full context of what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about certain snippets of it and just give my thoughts on it. Now, I'm going to be honest. I can't help but to think I feel bad for Charlie for a multitude of reasons, which again, I don't want to go too much over it, but some of the parts I do. Now, he recaps on everything that happened, which was the debate on Sneako. Again, I know I've clarified it so many times. Here, I will try to put the videos so you guys to see it for yourself. And, well, it, took some time where people kept, bugging him about the situation, which again, if you watch it, you watch it. I don't want to recap the whole thing, but some people just didn't find his takes interesting. I, of course, was one of them, but I didn't think it was enough for me to just press him on it and annoy him for having such a loony, ridiculous, claim or thing that he said on the debate. Now, I will say this. First off, I was right from the get-go. He even said it himself in the video. He's not a debater. Shocker, who would have known? Pretty much everyone who's watched a Charlie Moist Critical video. Second off, like I said earlier, I can't help but feel bad because in the video, he basically says that some of the reasons why he stepped down on certain things, like, for example, his podcasts and other projects that I myself was not aware of, was because he felt like he was obligated to do so, because I take it that he just wanted to make sure that the people that watch him, his audience, would enjoy it, right?
Turns out the patient zero behind all of this was a post Jackson made announcing that I would be leaving the podcasts, which is something I thought about periodically for quite a few months now, mainly because I started to recognize that I was becoming the very thing I'd make fun of with being chronically online. Like, I just was always online, and the podcasts were a big proponent of that, and I just kind of wanted to scale back the amount of time I spend online, and I kept Jackson in the loop the whole time here about where my head was at, and last week I told him, hey man, I think this is going to be where I hang up the jersey. You can put it in the rafters, throw it in the dumpster, but I think I'm just going to be, sailing off into the sunset here and just reducing the amount of stuff I do online. Which he completely understood, so he made the announcement just letting people know that, and then that got spun on Twitter and Reddit as Moist Critical's taking an indefinite hiatus and quitting the internet, fundamentally. Don't know when I'll be back. He's done with the internet because of all this controversy. Patooey on his grave. He's gone. When looking at the post, I don't even know where that's coming from. It's literally just talking about the podcast and me just stepping away. Like, it doesn't extend beyond that.
So, having said, it just, I guess, seemed like it was just a weird coincidence that he stepped down right around the time that this all happened. I'm not making the claims. I'm just saying, just rephrasing everything else so you understand what all happened in the timeline. Now, another thing he also mentioned in pretty much towards the end was that he just might want to step down when it comes to the heavy drama situation. So, for example, I've seen a few commentary videos where they kept throwing the whole clip with Moist and Logan Paul, where he would just say, Prime's sick, but I can't say it on camera. Now, do I think, I'm gonna quote what one of them said, was bitch shit that he said that? No. It's kind of like, okay, some people can match the energy from people who criticize other people on YouTube, but some other people just might not even have that hostility towards another person, especially when you meet them. And clearly, even Moist said it himself, that he doesn't really have that hatred towards someone, especially when they're talking about them on YouTube. I even made the video talking about the situation I'm talking about. I'll see if I can pull it up.
So, I have always said as well that I never harbor hatred for someone who will actually change. There's nothing to gain with just holding a grudge forever. That's childish. If someone is actually willing to learn and grow from things, I'm more than willing to break bread with them.
Now, again, I think that was far-fetched to someone even bringing that up. I thought that was kind of ridiculous, and adding the other thing. What he said on the debate was stupid, personally, my opinion. But what everyone else is bringing back in snippets, certain things, it's like, brother, he's just having a take. What is he supposed to be, the same hostility type of person? When he's criticizing somebody, he has to always just talk they want to talk smack to them at all times. Like, no, Charlie looks like the type of person where he's just a calm and collect kind of guy, where he'll say what he has to say, and then that's it. The video's done, and whatever happens, happens. But he made it clear that during the times, because I've watched him for a while, he's made content where he would just randomly, I would consider it as a shitpost. He'll talk about different topics that aren't too serious. And I remember when his pop-off was coming up around the 2018 era. I could be wrong. Whoever's a bigger Penguin Zero fan, fact check me on that if you have to. He would just talk about random stuff, joke around other people's videos and critique it in certain ways, but never to a point where it would be talking about like other people's controversies in depth, like recently throughout the years, that I guess some people seem to recognize him for that versus other videos. And he notices it and thinks that it's been affecting his, it's been affecting him, I don't know if mentally, but he just said it, it's just been affecting him, and it bumps his day, or he just has to like go super in depth in research when it comes to certain videos that are trendy. And so then he acknowledges it and says that he is probably going to hit the brakes when it comes to that. And well, I want to leave it with this. I'm kind of glad that, and he mentioned it, that the whole going hiatus, MIA, was not a real thing. It was just weirdly coincidental that, you know, the projects and the podcasts, he was just going to step down and just focus on other things. And again, like I said last time in my other previous videos, he made an actual, actually 2 or 1 video today, actually, where it was like his old content where he was just making commentary. I don't think he showed himself. I haven't seen it yet, but he mentioned it. That's why I'm trying to acknowledge it. Now, it's good that he's not going away and this didn't fully affect him. In a way, it certainly did, in where people hold him in this high pedestal where everything he says has to be correct. Otherwise, it will be striked with punishment. Like, no, bro. Actually, you know what? I'll just leave it with this. I'm glad you're not leaving, but I'll actually let him finish this video. So, here you go.
I'm not just spitting hot takes out the wazoo here. I'm just being myself. That's all this channel ever has been. And now it's become super controversial to do that if it's not like, you know, picking sides on everything, it seems. And it's very frustrating. For the longest time, it was just me having fun. And for the most part, it still is. But I've started to recognize over the last few months that some of the things I do just really aren't fun for me to do, and I've been doing them out of obligation. Mainly internet drama. When I initially started covering drama so many years ago now, it was fun, because it wasn't as serious. Like, the stories were a lot, you know, more quirky. It was easy to get invested because it was kind of just like a soap opera, like a really dumb soap opera. But recently it's been much more serious, and I feel the need to talk about these things because a lot of them are extremely serious with very important topics to discuss. But it has become draining. As much as I never wanted to admit it, I've started to recognize that my mood is immediately impacted by whatever I read on Twitter in the morning. if that's some horrible stuff about a creator or what have you, it immediately affects my entire day and my whole outlook on the day. Now I know, call the wambulance, get some french fries, just fucking whining about having to talk about drama. What a stupid problem to be upset about. But I'm just trying to explain that it hasn't been as fun recently. It hasn't. And the main thing, if you've been around the channel for a while, is I've always wanted this to be fun and never feel like a job. And as hard as it is for me to admit this, a lot of this kind of stuff, it has just started to feel like less fun and more of, well, gotta do this because I'm expected to. Like anytime I go live, most of chat is just telling me about the latest in whatever's happening in the creator space or some other like extremely negative thing going on. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to learn all about that once I turn stream off. So then I spend a few hours learning about these things, and it's all just really upsetting stuff. Like, it's not happy. It's all very sad, bad stuff. And it's been making me not happy. So I definitely think I'll be slowing down on covering internet-related drama or like drama in general. I'll still talk about like really wacky stories and shit like that, but I definitely think I'm gonna be pumping the brakes on like the kind of drama I have been covering recently. And instead, I'm going to go back to focusing on the content that I'm most happy with. Like, if you ask me what content I'm most proud of throughout my entire time on this platform for the last, like, 17, 18 years, none of it would be drama coverage. It'd be things like Skynut. It'd be things like shooting a potato at a tennis racket to see if you can make french fries in midair by frying them in hot oil. It's shit like that. And I think I'm going to go back to that kind of stuff as opposed to the direction that I have been going recently. So, yeah, this was a lot to go over here, but I hope this has cleared everything up. And, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah.